What is shaking, everybody? I am here in my shop, just kind of hanging out because, well, the wife is gone at my brother-in-law's track meet. The little boy is gone with her, and I thought I was going to be at work a lot longer because, well, it's tail end of planting season, and I thought maybe I'd have to run and go get seed, but I haven't got a phone call yet. So, chilling out in here, got the grill warming up, but I made a couple of things today, guys. A couple of things I'm a little bit proud of, so I'm going to show you first of which right here. So first of all, don't mind the mess. I got all kinds of junk over here working on a pump motor and everything else, but this little guy is the bottom part of the operation, and that guy's the big part of the operation. So I'm in the process of getting that all painted up and ready to go. Got the rubber coating on it to kind of protect it a little bit, but what that is a bead breaker for tires. Had the stuff laying around, so I built it this afternoon just because I've been wanting one, and well, I need one for a few different things. And normally it isn't that hard to bust a bead on a tire if you got the right hammer, but something like that makes it a little bit easier. I'm hoping this one works as good as the professional ones I've used in the past. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not out anything. All that stuff's out of scrap piles, so we'll see. I had to change a floater tire on a nurse trailer earlier this week, and that was a pain. To get that tire off the bead was just miserable. I've never had one that fought me anywhere near that much, but I'll show you what I did with that tire that I took off. So again, don't mind the mess, but I took that tire, cut sidewall out of it, and I turned that tire inside out today. Which is also the same thing that I did with this one that I did last year. Oh, in case you're wondering, I don't have a fancy machine that turns those tires inside out or cuts the sidewall out of them or anything like that. I got my own method. I guess if you guys want to see it, let me know and I'll show you how I do it, but not all that difficult. It's actually really, really simple for what it is. But now, while I'm letting all this stuff dry, I'm going to grill me a couple of hamburgers because, you know, what the hell. If by chance you're wondering what I put on those burgers, they're 2 half-pound patties. And I put on my own homemade special seasoning that I make. Really good stuff. Love it. Wish I could package it and sell it, but not there yet. Put that on both sides, and then I got some, whatever that, Worcester, whatever sauce that goes on there, and then a little bit of liquid smoke. Let that all sit together for a little while, and then pop it on the grill. Everything works great. Well, in case you're wondering, burgers were phenomenal. Great. Now, get my little bead breaker doohickey tire thing painted up. It's going to use one type of paint, or one can of paint that I had that I got from an implement dealer, but it had no pressure in it. Full can of paint, no pressure. Tried to put pressure in it, didn't work. So, grabbed another can that I had. I do have black paint that I can mix up and spray through my paint gun, but I am not about to clean my paint gun up for something like this. I mean, this is a bead breaker for tires. It's a homemade pile of junk made out of scrap. There's no reason I need to make it look pretty and go through that amount of work. So, this is what we're doing. Well, we might get some rain yet. Well, that'd be nice. Now that planning is almost done, we can finally hope for some rain. It's kind of a pain getting rain in the middle of planning, because then the boss man gets all bent out of shape because he wants to be in the field, and now that we're pretty much done, he could care less. Start off the beginning of the planning season in a race with everybody else, and then about 2/3 of the way through, he wonders who the hell he's in a competition with. Just kind of the way it goes, I guess. Oh well, I'm just the idiot that fixes stuff. I figured while we're waiting for that clear coat to dry between coats, that I'd go out and spray some degreaser on my smoker racks. And hopefully it starts raining here before long, and then everything will be peachy. And now we wait. Final coat of clear. Just for the record, when I'm actually painting stuff for real, it is a whole lot better than this, with a whole lot better setup. Camera works probably just as bad though. There we go. And just for the record, if y'all are wondering why everything's such a mess over there, I haven't had much of a spare moment here the past couple of weeks with planning going on. And I got all sorts of stuff on my bench. I got a pump that the boss man blew the top off of. Got that tore apart, seeing if I can fix that. I got different paint products. I got refrigerant on there that I haven't got stowed away into its little happy spot back there. And then I got my grandpa's old toolbox that I'm working on. It is what it is, but there isn't much spare time to really do anything to get everything cleaned up and get everything organized. And I'm working late enough that I can't really take on any jobs that come over the phone for the little side shop that I got going on out of this place. So, yeah, it is what it is. But I reckon I'm gonna go close the doors up and I'm gonna head inside and we'll chill out till my wife and my little boy get home. Well, I filled a few sprinkles when I was coming in, so that's a good sign. Thundering quite a bit, so we might get some rain out of this whole deal. Excuse me. We got in, got changed, got washed up, did a little bit of choring around the house, so if my wife tells you that I don't ever do anything, it's only mainly true, because I did do a little bit. Not much, but a little. But as I told you guys, I try to do a little work out of that shop back there as kind of a side deal for me. We'll see where it goes one way or another. And I'll leave a link to my Facebook page on there so you can check out some of the stuff I do if you want to look at it. Up to you. Doesn't matter to me a whole lot. But I can do a lot of different things. I mean, not just even with this little side shop. Yeah, obviously you can do work on the cars and the pickups and small engines if that comes up. I can work on farm equipment, implements, and then for those of you guys that have watched my videos for a long time, you know that I drove for the better part of a decade. And Well, really out of necessity, I worked on my own trucks. Not really because I wanted to, but because if I didn't, it wasn't going to get done. And that ranged from everything from fixing leveling valves and airbags to doing water pumps and thermostats and so on and so forth. Kingpins, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I can do mechanic work on cars and trucks and all that good jazz. And I also went to school to be a body man, and I really enjoy doing that stuff on my own. I mean, I'd rather do that than the mechanic work, I think. But that's just because that's what I went to school for. I did a lot of that growing up. But there are a couple of problems that go in with that. I mean, one of the problems is you go off of book time. And I do charge a lower labor rate for the body work than the shops do. But I still go by the book time, and it turns into a pretty pricey deal when people come to you wanting you to do rockers and cab corners and things like that. I mean, they take time. You're talking collisions and stuff like that. Insurance pays for that, so it's not that big of a deal. It goes by book time too, but you're paying a deductible instead of the whole thing. But I mean, labor is expensive with stuff like that, and then the other problem is getting paint. I don't have the money to have a full mixing bank back there, so I gotta get the paint mixed and sent to me, and then I gotta be able to blend it out. And what you're gonna have in a body shop too, they're gonna blend your panels and everything else when I can't color match it. It's pretty common practice, but getting paint is a little bit of a challenge sometimes too. Now repaints like what I do out there with a few different things from motorcycle stuff to that toolbox and so on and so forth. I mean, that's pretty simple. I can get that automotive quality paint from about anywhere, but when you're talking color codes and blends and matches and things like that, it gets a little more difficult when you don't have a mixing bank. But it is what it is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know a whole heck of a lot of people down here, so I do get calls every now and then of what they see on Facebook, and some stuff works out, some stuff is kind of a no-call, no-show kind of deal, which I expect. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, like I say, I went about 15 miles south here to a farmer's place and helped him figure out a wiring issue on his tractor. Had a really cool 3010 John Deere, really cool tractor. But he's trying to restore it for his son, and he put all the lights in, but he overpainted everything, and the lights ground through the fender. Well, they couldn't make a connection on the back of the lights where it contacts the fender. So pretty simple deal, but there was a lot of work to get to that solution. His switch is wired up all funky and not right, and there was a lot of other things going on there that I worked on before we dealt with the main issue at hand. Just because I don't want any issues where he calls me wondering why things aren't working when it's not wired up correctly. But it is what it is. I mean, I enjoy doing these things on the side, and I guess if anything takes off one way or another, then that's great. That's great. I mean, your ultimate goal is to work for yourself in the end, right? And then, tire stuff. I got tire irons, and I built that bead breaker just to kind of help myself out. I got the hammers and stuff to do that whole bit. But it might be a little bit confusing, or might not make a lot of sense, but it's just real expensive to try to start a tire shop. The amount of money you have to get those tires in, to have tires in stock, so when people come in and want you to do that kind of stuff, that is a lot of money in inventory. That is just crazy. But it is also one of those things that a lot of people aren't going to do themselves. Especially if they have a flat tire, a hole in the tire, or something like that, they're going to take it to those guys, and it is what it is. But I don't know. Something to tinker around with. I got a lot of tools, I got a lot of knowledge, I got a lot of know-how. Just everything I've been through in life, from helping my grandpa growing up, to helping dad, to going to school for what I did, to working in a body shop, and then driving truck. I mean, I had the blessing of learning from a certified cat mechanic. So I mean, that was good. The guy didn't really take care of his trucks all that well, and that was more because of a cash flow problem than anything else. But by George, if I want to learn how to do something to that truck and I could do it so we didn't have to send it to a shop, which we couldn't afford at certain times, then that was great. And I could keep running and he could save money. And while I didn't get paid for the time I worked on the truck, I did make a pretty good chunk of money as far as percentage goes pulling for him. So it is what it is. But at any rate, guys, I'm going to sit back, try to relax a little bit. My back is killing me, has been all week. And I'm just going to hang out till my wife and my little boy get home. So at any rate, guys, I know this video is kind of a mess. Everything kind of slapped together, and camera work wasn't the best with doing the stuff with that bead breaker, but oh well. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked listening to me ramble. I know I enjoy doing it. But as always, guys, I thank you guys for watching.